Hi guys. It's been a while, but I just wanted to mention something that I texted someone else, and it had me thinking. I have to share this because it's very important information. I think everybody can learn from this because we need to realize that the powers that be, the powers that shouldn't be, I should say, they offer choices, right? They offer certain choices to us, and we think that we're actually choosing something that we want, but they've already predetermined what outcome, if we choose certain things, there would be certain outcomes. And they know this. That's why they narrow things down to only a certain amount of choices for us. For example, the elections, with the politicians, you don't really have a choice. You really don't, ultimately. Who gets to be president. If I want someone totally out of this, someone that's not involved in politics, if I want someone else to be president, it's not going to happen. Only the people that are within this political world are able to be president, I guess. So, that's a whole other thing, but that's involved in this and the control, and it's like that on purpose. This is part of the illusion of choice. And I have so many thoughts about this where, okay, the main thing that I wanted to say, let me just get this out, is that they trick us into thinking we're choosing something so that we inevitably, we inevitably are guided to our slaughter, like cattle. I don't know if that's the best analogy, but for what I'm trying to convey here, but it's no matter what choice you make, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, well, I shouldn't say no matter what, but usually, in general, no matter what choice you make, it's going to lead into something that they've already planned or they already wanted you to choose, because a lot of this is just predetermined. So just like I said about the politicians, they have obviously handpicked these people. Now there are deals, I think, that go on, behind the scenes. Of course, there's money involved, but it's a power thing as well. And I also said to the person that I was messaging about this, I said it's kind of like they put us in a certain area, and then this is what my analogy is say you're in a closed area, and then you have booby traps all around you. So it's almost like no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you're gonna inevitably fall into one of their traps. So no matter what choice you're making in the system, I should say, not period, no matter what choice you make in life, because that would be very discouraging. Obviously, that's not something we want to hear, and it's not true either, because we do have a choice if we drop the system. But the problem is that we all need to come together and drop the system together and walk away. That's basically what we need to do, just walk away. But the more that we keep choosing, from what choices they give us, we're only going to get destruction out of it. We're not going to actually get anywhere. We're just spinning on a wheel. So I just wanted to share that, because we're being led to our slaughter, and then people think like, oh no, this choice that I make, you know, a lot of people are voting for this one person, and this is not just about elections, but look at my cat. It's not just about elections, but it's about any choice that we're making. It's going to, you know, it's going to lead us in a certain direction, but it's like they're guiding that direction. That's basically what I'm saying, is like, it's not coming from us, even though we might think, well, we made the choice. Yeah, but who gave us the choices, right? Who gave us these choices or ideas? Why can't we come up with our own ideas? Why do we have to keep listening to these people that are so-called an authority? They're only an authority because we let them be an authority. We allow them to continue. Like, I know that it's been so many years and centuries that we've allowed this control. Actually, like, all of time, you know, there's always been some sort of control over the people. And it's like, if we just realized that it's just a system and that we can always break that system up if it's not suiting each and every one of us, because that's not fair if it's only helping, you know, the powers that shouldn't be, you know? If it's only helping them, because obviously it's all manipulated. That's what I'm trying to say. It's all manipulation, and then we choose something and then we think, oh, well, maybe it'll be better this time. But this, think about it, it's a narcissistic culture. Narcissists do things like this. Narcissists will promise you the world, and then they'll actually give you choices or options. And, you know, you're trapped. You think that you're making certain choices for yourself, but really they're putting it all there for you. You know, they can also tempt you and bribe you in certain ways to make certain choices as well. So, not everybody's choice is genuine either. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a lot that we should think about, because, I mean, this is where the control comes from. If we just say no, if we just say we're not going to choose between the options you give us, we know that there's more out there. We know that we can choose something different, something that's going to help the world harmonize instead of this illusion of harmonization, you know? Because, like, with the COVID crap, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to say the word, but, you know, when they're like, oh, we're all in this together, and it's like, are we really, though? I mean, I think that's just an illusion. I mean, I can go on and on about that too, but I think that's just an illusion of unity. It's not true unity. Like, we're not actually coming together, and we're not actually saying no. We have to say no more often instead of just allowing things to happen and just letting things kind of just slip through our hands, and then the control ends up in their hands. And then we're, you know, at the last minute when something bad happens, we're scrambling around and not knowing what to do. And, you know, then you start looking to these people, because, see, what they want to do is trap you, get you into so much fear that you inevitably run back to them, the powers that shouldn't be, okay? You run back to them just like a narcissist. The narcissistic abuse is meant to confuse you, and they love bomb you and, you know, fill you up with all this positivity. That's basically like what love bombing is, but then it's just to manipulate you. It's like filling somebody up with all this so-called love, and then like this admiration of whoever, and that person thinks, they're fooled. They think that it's real true care and real true love, but really that person's just doing it. The narcissist is doing it just to gain more control, because they know that if the more trust you have, they know that if we trust them, they can do anything, really, but only with our consent. And your consent, like, it's not like we're saying, okay, sure, you can do this, but if they keep doing things behind the scenes and then we find out and we don't do anything about it, I mean, they're just going to keep doing it. Just like anybody that's abusive, they're just going to continue to keep doing something if they know they can get away with it. And they're going to love bomb you. They're going to make you think that, there is some sort of, I don't know how to say that, but yeah, they'll love bomb you until, like, they know that they have that trust, because you're going to trust them, because they keep fooling you. And they keep giving you maybe the love that you don't get from anywhere else. So that's the other thing. We're starved of love. We're starved of true care. Most people are in the world right now. I mean, whether people want to believe it or not. And I think this is also, I say this a lot. This goes back to like self-care and self-love. We got to learn how to first know ourselves, and then, you learn to love yourself as well. You strengthen yourself. You have a relationship with yourself. And then once you do that, it truly is easier to share that love with someone else and to accept that love from somebody else. Because a lot of the times, when people don't love themselves, don't care about themselves, they're not going to care so much about what everybody else is doing or what happens to anybody else if they don't care about themselves. So that's why it's very important to take care of yourself genuinely and like truly try to get to know who you are. And that's why it's good to know, our quote enemies. I don't really like saying that either, but they've made themselves the enemy. I mean, really what they do is they attack us in these very covert ways, and this is what I'm trying to get at. It's like they come behind us and come out of nowhere and hit us with something. But it's like we fall into that trap. Like, we're making the choices. I'm not saying they're not doing anything wrong because they're evil, right? But they're putting out these options. You can choose this, you can choose this. So, but they know that no matter what choice that you choose, it's just going to lead to what they want anyways, because they're the ones giving you the choice. Like I said, I know I keep repeating myself, but I really want people to understand this, because then it's on you in a way, because then it's like, it's all coming from the same source. Some people don't know, but those that are figuring this out little by little are realizing, like, wait a second, this is all coming from the same people. I don't think they're people, but I don't know what they are, but they don't have a soul. They don't have a heart. And they can do this to humanity. I mean, obviously, you're not human if you can do this to your own species. So it's like, we have to realize wake up to the tricks being played on us. We're choosing, but we're falling into the trap that they set out for us. And I think this is how they get away with a lot of things, because they're thinking in their mind, well, we just put it there and you touched it, you chose it, you picked it up. You made it part of your lifestyle. We never told you to. But at the same time, they do, like I said, trap us or corner us, or this is why I feel like we're cattle in a way, being led to the slaughter, because it's like you really are trapped. You're between, you know, I hate the saying, but a rock and a hard place, right? Yeah, everybody knows what that means, pretty much. You know, you're stuck. You don't really have a choice in a way. You think you don't. But again, you know, if you just realize that, like, if we all realize this, they couldn't do anything. Because no matter how many choices you lay out in front of us, you know, just because it's there doesn't mean we have to choose it. And if we're strong enough, we won't touch it. We won't choose it. We will figure something out on our own. And I don't know what that is, but we'll figure it out. That's what I think. So instead of continuously choosing what is given to us, it's not all there is. I think that's the other thing people think, like, that's it. Like, we really don't have a choice. You don't have a choice because you're allowing yourself to be manipulated by this. But what you first have to do is resist. And I'm not telling anybody not to vote, but I don't vote. This is why. Because I know no matter what choice I make, it's just, they're going to inevitably, it's going to lead to a choice that they want anyways. And regardless of it being rigged or not, which I think it is, it doesn't matter, because they are always going to try to find a way for us to choose what they want. And you think that you're choosing something for yourself, but you're really not. It's not coming from you. You might think it is, but it's not. But they're tricking you, your will. Like, you're using your will to choose something that they put out there for you. So if we can just remember that every time, even if we buy a product, you're voting with that. You're voting with your choice. You don't have to buy certain things from certain companies if you know the abusive background. You know, for example, there's these like modern day sweatshops and you know, these people being controlled and not having livable, or not livable, but like these horrible conditions these people work under, and then they get underpaid and they work so many hours, and it's basically like they're abusing their labor, you know? I don't know the correct term for that, but you get the idea, right? So I could name many companies, but we can use, you know, Walmart for example. You know, that's one of the companies that, you know, we can choose. Like, I'm a victim. I'm not a victim of that. What the hell am I saying? I am I should say I'm guilty of that too. Like, you know, I buy things from Walmart occasionally too. And I'm, you know, seriously thinking about it recently, where I'm like, I don't know if I should. I don't know if I want to buy from these certain, you know, huge places like Amazon too, you know? Or, I mean, those are the two biggest right now companies, you know, that are raking it in, because again, it narrows down to these so-called choices, like these aren't real choices. It's like it's actually getting narrower and narrower. Like slaughter, like cows going to their slaughter. Right? I mean, that's how it happens. It's like wide, and then it gets narrower and narrower and narrower, and then they have nowhere else to go. Then they're completely trapped. See, this is why I'm saying this, because if we continue this path, you're not gonna have anywhere to go. Or I should say, I don't want people to give up hope, but it's like, don't put yourself in that position, first of all, right? Like, yes, inevitably there's a way, I believe that there's a way out of everything. But you don't want to, be at the end of that line, trapped in that little narrow space, so to say. I'm just speaking in metaphysical terms, but like, you won't have a choice at the end of that path. I mean, you really won't have any real or imagined choice. Like, you're literally going to be slaughtered. Not literally. Well, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But I think this is like this war, this things that are going on today. I call it a war. It's, how do I say this? Well, it's an attack on the mind more so, and then it's to get you to fall into fear. Because once we start fearing everything, then we're all collectively creating this together. And I do believe that we create our own reality. I mean, I'm not going to get into that either. I just want to say that we're all collectively creating our realities together, and like, we're more powerful too if we all came together and we all created something like beneficial for everybody, where it would work out for everyone. That's what harmony is, then we could see real change. We could see what we've been hoping for. But it's like they always get our hopes up, and then we're thinking, I don't want to say we, because I'm not involved in that. I don't think like this, because I know that it's all an illusion and it's all, again, just a trap. But the majority of people are thinking, okay, maybe this is the time. Maybe this is the president that's going to change everything. Maybe this is the answer for this. Maybe this is the answer for that. What they keep throwing out there, again, the choices, the so-called choices. It's not. They're not choices. And it's not going to work. No matter what you so-called choose from what they give you, it's not going to work. And a lot of people think, well, maybe we can, change the system from within. But why do that when the system is corrupt to begin with? I don't think that that's worth it, because it's like doing way more work than you have to. It's better to just walk away, to resist and then walk away. If we all could walk away, we could change this world. We could. So, that's all I want to say.